Hello fair computers, welcome back to Mr. Noor. Today we are going to learn complete short answers of ICS first year book in English. That's all in detail. अगर आप लोगों ने अभी तक मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज़ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके वीडियो को स्किप ना करें. So the first one is application software. A set of programs designed to perform a specific task such as typing a letter, preparing payroll, music, or creating animation display. Assembler. A system software that translates assembly language programs into machine language for execution by the computer. Asynchronous transmission. A type of transmission in which the time interval between the character being transmitted varies. Attribute. A property or characteristic of an entity. Bus topology. A type of topology in which the transmission medium is usually a single cable to which all the devices are connected. Cache memory. Small amount of high-speed semiconductor memory which exists inside the microprocessor or on the motherboard of a computer. Circuit switch network. A mode of operation of a network in which communication path is first established between the source and the destination and used exclusively for the duration of the call or transmission. Client. A computer on the network that accesses resources that are shared by the other computer. Client and server network. A computer network in which each computer on the network acts as either a server or a client. Communication media. Communication lines used to transmit data between computers such as telephone line, fiber optics, or coaxial cable. Compiler. A system software that translates entire program written in a high-level language into machine language program for execution by the computer. Computer network. An internet connection between two or more computers so that they can communicate with each other. Computer casing. A box or an enclosure that contains most of component of a computer except that input and output devices. Computer program. A sequence of instructions which are stored in main memory of a computer and specify which operations are occur to solve a problem. Control unit, CU. A unit of CPU that directs and coordinates the operations of entire computer system. Data file. A collection of records. Data inconsistency. The same item of data held in many different files having different values. Data redundancy. The same data duplicated in many different data files. Database. A collection of related data in data files or tables. Database Management System, DBMS. A general purpose software that allows user to create and maintain a database. Database Administrator. a person in charge of a group who is responsible for supervising both database and use of DBMS. Database, a collection of many different data files linked in such a way that information can be retrieved from several files simultaneously. Device driver, a computer program whose purpose is to control the operation of a hardware devices attached to computer. Digital computer, a machine that can solve problems by carrying out instructions given to it in a computer programming language. Direct access memory, a type of memory in which the actual physical location of a memory words has no effect on how long it takes to read from or write into that location. Entity, a thing of interest to an organization about which data is to be held. Entity relationship diagram, a diagrammatic way of representing the relationship between entities in a database. Firmware, an intermediate from between hardware and software, which consists of software embedded in electronic devices during their manufacture. Form, a window that displays a collection of controls such as labels, text boxes, checkboxes, and lists for viewing, entering, and editing the information in database fields. Freeware, software distributed free of cost like shareware, but it is usually full version of the software for an unlimited period of time. Full duplex mode, a type of information exchange method between two communication devices where information can be exchanged in both directions simultaneously. Gateway, a device that is used to link very different kinds of networks such as a network of IBM mainframe compu- a network of IBM mainframe computer and a network of PCs. Abduflex mode, a type of information exchange method between two communicating devices where has information can be exchanged in both directions alternatively. Hard copy, output output generated by an output device such as printer on paper that is a permanent record of information and cannot be changed. Hardware, physical components of computer such as monitor, keyboard, hard disk, printer, along with the circuitry connecting them. Hierarchical database model, a database mode in which data is organized into a tree-like structure. HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, the major language of the Internet World Wide Web to write web pages. IC chips, a silicon chip that consists of miniatures logic circuits etched on it. Interpreter, interpreter, a system software that translates a level language program into machine language, but it translates one instructions at a time and execute it before translating the next ones. IP address, an unique address made up of 32 bits that identifies a host on Internet. ISO, International Standard Organization, International Standards Organization based in Geneva that develops standards for various devices. LAN, Local Area Network, a network that consists within a limited geographical area such as a building or a university campus. Memory address, a number that finds it a location of a word in a memory. MAN, Metropolitan Area Network, a backbone network of fiber optics cable that could span hundreds of square miles within a city. Microprocessor, a single VLSI chip that directs and coordinates the operation of all the other parts of computer. Motherboard, a circuit motherboard, a circuit board that connects all the components of computer explanation slots. Data network database model. Network database model, a hierarchical database model in which some of the data elements can have more than one owner data element. Object-oriented database model, a database model that stores objects rather than data, such as integers, real numbers, and strings. Object-oriented programming language such as C++ and Java. Open source software, computer software that is available in the form of source code that allows users to study, change, and improve it. Operating system (OS), a system software that manages the hardware and software resources of a computer system, such as CPU, storage, and all the input and output devices. OSI, Open System Interconnection, is a standard model of a data communication system developed by ISO to facilitate communication system in which equipment from different vendors can communicate with each other. Packet switched network, a mode of operation in which each message transmitted through the network is first divided into a number of smaller units known as packet. Each packet contains addressing information, and the packets are reassembled at the destination. Peer-to-peer network, a network in which every computer is capable of playing the role of client, server, or both at the same time. Floater, an output device used to produce art copy of graphs, maps, engineering drawings, and machine components. Primary key, a unique field of identity in a database. Protocol, a language or set of rules that node agree to use to communicate over a network. Query, an object used to gather selected information from a database and organize it either for use in reports or for viewing on screen. Record, all the information about one person or atom. Referential, Integrity. A feature and DBMS that prevents from deleting or modifying values of a primary table's record on which related records depend. Registers. Small storage unit whose function is to temporarily store binary information and pass it on to the other parts of processors or main memory during the execution program instructions. Relational database model. A database model in which data is held in tables and the tables are linked by the means of common fields. Relationship. A link or association between entities. Resolution. Sharpness or quality of picture or text displayed on a monitor or printed on printer. Ring topology. A type of topology in which each computer is connected to the nearest neighbor until all the computers are connected in the form of a ring. Router. A device that reads network addressing information in the packet and may and more information to get it through the networks. Secondary key. If a database table needs to be searched on the field of other than the primary key, it is known as secondary key. Sequential access memory. A type of memory in which the access time is not constant but varies depending on the addressing location. Server. A computer on the network that shares resources for others to use. Shareware. A proprietary software that is given to people free of charge and a config disk along with periodicals or magazines or it can be downloaded from a website. Simplex mode. A type of information a type of a type of information exchange method between two communicating devices where information can be passed only in one direction. Soft copy. Output that appears on a monitor or is saved on the same medium such as hard disk, CD or flash drive. Software. C definition of computer program. Software license. A contract between the producer and the user of computer software that specifies the parameters of permission granted by owner to the user. Star topology. A type of topology in which there is a central computer that performs all the switch functioning. Switch. A device that links cable segments of a lane, link two lanes, or link the cable of lane to a leased lines such as telephone lines. Synchronous transmission. A type of transmission in which the time interval between characters being transmitted is constant. System bus. A group of parallel standards of wires for transmitting binary information in the computer. System software. Collection of operative programs whose purpose is to make the use of computer easy and effective. System unit. A computer casing with all the components such as motherboard, CPU, man memory, and hard disk installed inside. Topology: a map of layout of nodes and connections in a network. Utility software: software that provides facilities to carry out tasks which are beyond the capabilities of the supervisor of operating system. VPN, virtual private network, a network that provides remote access to individual or offices to their organization's network by using public telecommunication infrastructures such as internet. WAN, wide area network, a network that spans a large physical area connecting computers across cities, countries, and continents. Wireless network, a network that uses electromagnetic waves to provide facilities to computer users to exchange information without additional writing network. So I hope आप लोगों को ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो प्लीज़ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके ही जाएं।